The PC handheld market is at a bit of a crossroads right now. Although we have many new consoles coming out, like the Legion Go 2, the Legion Go S, the new Xbox ROG console, they're all very expensive for the normal consumer, and the sentiment across the internet is Steam Deck is still the best. And I think that's for one very simple reason. It does the best job of combining customability and simplicity. What makes the mainline consoles like a PlayStation and Xbox so simple, although they act more like PCs more than ever now, is you can really just turn them on, download a couple updates, download a game, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about settings or drivers or anything like that. And for a lot of the PC handhelds, specifically on the Windows side, you do. Unfortunately, it's just the reality of using Windows. You got to worry about all the bloatware that's downloaded on them. You got to worry about drivers. You got to download the Steam store and everything else like that. On top of that, you have to navigate Windows every single time with a little tablet console. While this, in its simplest form, you can simply just turn it on, download a game, or log into your Steam profile and then download a game, and you're gaming in 10 minutes. As simple as a console. And it still allows you to customize it to your liking. You can customize literally everything. And that's why most people consider the Steam Deck one of the best consoles for adults. For someone like me, the days of playing Counter-Strike or Minecraft for 8 to 10 hours a day are just gone. I don't have the time or really the desire to do that anymore. I already sit at my desk all day doing work. The last thing I'm trying to do is sit at my desk and play a game like Counter-Strike or Valorant or whatever. I'd rather move around, maybe go lay on a couch and play something, or lay in my bed and play something. And what the deck allows you to do is still get that high quality performance anywhere. Because like I said, in its most basic form, if you took a Steam Deck out of the box, you turn it on, you log into your Steam profile, you download a quick game like a Balatro, and I just started playing it and I didn't get it at first, but now I do, and I understand why this game is so addicting. Or a Castle Crashers or whatever, and you're gaming within 10 minutes. That's just not possible with the Windows handhelds. But what makes the Steam Deck just so special compared to like a Switch 2 is that you really can make it yours. And I use like a default look on the outside. I might get a skin for it at some point. I also use a custom, I guess, inside of the deck skin from Decky called Art Hero, really popular, but you can also use default. I use the default startup. There's startups you can get, such as like the PlayStation 2 startup, if that's something from your childhood. It's pretty amazing how customizable the deck really is. Because this isn't a game console, it's a tool, and all the best tools are multi-purpose. It's really hard to make tech unique nowadays. Whenever we get nostalgia for tech from the 90s and early 2000s, it's because they had wacky looks to them. And on top of that, you can find Steam Decks like 64 gigabytes with like a 1 terabyte micro SD card for like $200 to $250 on like an OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace. Obviously, take caution with any time you buy any piece of tech used, test it, make sure it's all good. But you can find them so cheap nowadays. I mean, I bought this brand new on Facebook Marketplace, 1 terabyte OLED for $550, and that's $100 off what Steam was selling it for. So if I found this on Facebook Marketplace, I promise you can find them as well. And I bought a Steam Deck years ago for $200. On top of that, they haven't increased the price of these ever, which if you told me that, 5-6 years ago, I would say that doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? Of course, it wouldn't go up in price. It's an older console, but as we just heard with Xbox, and I'm sure PlayStation will follow suit, everything's going up. The Xbox is going up, to $650? I think the 2 terabyte one's $800. I'm sure PlayStation's not far behind. Whatever the reason is, it's crazy to think that buying a PlayStation or Xbox in 2020 has turned into some sort of investment. And fortunately for Valve, they have a big advantage to why they can keep this console so cheap compared to every other PC handheld. It's the fact that really where most of their money comes from is the Steam store. That's why they give so many of these away. They just want them in your hands. It's kind of like what Xbox did with Game Pass for a long time. They were just kind of giving away Game Pass for months because they just want people to download those games and get online and do all that. That's what Steam does. They're just like, here, cheap. There's discounts all the time on Steam Decks because they just want you in the store, that these other companies like Lenovo or ROG don't have that advantage. Because even the new ROG Xbox handhelds, yeah, they have the Microsoft Store, but it doesn't compete in anywhere near what Steam does. You know, some people call the Steam Deck the backlog killer, and because of how cheap Steam sales can make games, you can end up building 100+ Steam library very easily. But now with this, you can just play anywhere, and because of the nice sleep mode, you can turn it on and off real quick. Hop into a game for 30 minutes, you turn it off, you're back to working. I think this has been talked about for a while, but the future of gaming really is portable. Kids are now playing Fortnite and Roblox and Minecraft and all those games on their phones or their parents' phones, and as we've been hearing for the last 2 generations, it feels like the console market could die at any moment, and handhelds are just getting bigger. I don't want to go too deep into this because I think complaining about social media on social media is a little silly, but what I love also about having this Steam Deck is it cuts down on my social media time, my doom scrolling time. So instead of spending 30 minutes doom scrolling TikTok or Instagram or opening up Twitter and seeing another tragedy for the day, this replaces that, and obviously this will bring a lot more joy than seeing bad things on social media. That's a topic for another day. The Steam Deck, it just really is also the perfect combination for the customer. It's the perfect combination of the prosumer versus the consumer. Let me explain. The consumer is someone like who buys 2K, Madden, Call of Duty every single year, maybe Assassin's Creed when that comes out. They're not buying every new video game right at release. They're probably waiting for sales. They're not considered gamers. They have a PlayStation or Xbox. They probably play it on a 50-inch TV, and they're not too tapped into what's going on in the gaming market. Well, the prosumer is more like me or you. We have maybe custom-built PCs. We play at desks like this, play on little monitors like this. We keep track of when a Steam Deck type console comes out. And what the Steam Deck does is it combines both perfectly. And it really just comes down to that price. Even for a prosumer, spending $1,300 on a console when you're not like a YouTuber or streamer or anything like that, it's a little crazy. And at $400 at the time, and now $550 for the OLED, it's really just such a low barrier of entry that, yeah, it's still technically a niche product, and I would still, if you're like just going to buy any console, I would still suggest buying a PlayStation or Xbox because there's just more possibility of stuff to do with those, besides portability, of course. But as a secondary gaming device, I would wholeheartedly recommend this over a Nintendo console. The Steam Deck is the tool for everyone.